Hi Wilkins families. So I'm just gonna start my first video by saying hi and that I miss you all very much. And I'm just gonna do a super easy lesson on drawing birds. Now in the classroom, normally I have lids that kids would trace for circles, but since I'm home and don't have that, I have a glass, so you could trace the circle on the bottom or the top, or even like a little paint thing. I have a circle here I could trace. I have a food jar, like dipping dish that you could trace, or even like the circle of the top of a candle. So basically I'm gonna try and think of all the different things that you might need that might be a little bit different than what we normally use at school, but you would still have at home, if that makes sense. For any lesson that I do, basically, if that works. So I'm just gonna kind of bring you on in here and show you what we're doing. So the first thing you want to do is start tracing circles on your page with a pencil, if you have one. And I am just gonna start up here and use this. Now I want multiple birds on my paper, so I am not using the biggest thing that I have, but honestly, whatever circle you can find that fits on your paper works. And there really doesn't have to be a specific number either. It's just kind of whatever fits on your paper that works for you. So I fit 2 easily on my paper, because if I put another one up here, it would go off. And same thing if I did one down here. From there, I'm just gonna go ahead and draw my eyes. Now your eyes can kind of be whatever you want them to be. I know that we have drawn a lot of different eyes in our classroom at school. So I kind of want you to use that and be creative and think of all different eyes. Maybe don't do them all the same as each other, because it'd be kind of boring. We want to have just a little bit of variety here. Challenge yourself to be creative. So I'm doing my eyes. Maybe I'll do some square ones here. Getting all my shapes involved. And again, like I said, your eyes do not have to be like mine. They can just be whatever eyes that you think would look good on a bird. From there, I'm gonna make a beak, because birds all have beaks, right? And I'm just gonna making an upside down triangle. You can decide if you want a nice big one like that or a small one like that. Totally doesn't matter. You just make the size of beak that you want on your birds. And then I'm gonna go put an oval inside each of them. Actually 2 ovals, I should say. These are their little like breathing holes in their beaks. And then from there, what I want, a different one in each of the birds, is to do a different type of line. So for instance, maybe I want a striped lines inside of this bird. And then maybe I want some zigzag lines in this bird. Maybe in this one we want some wavy lines coming across. But this is just gonna give our bird some nice details and texture by adding the lines. And then this one, let's go ahead and do some castle lines. And no matter the grade, we have talked a ton and a ton about different types of lines. So this should be something that's pretty simple, and that they should be able to have a variety. Or honestly, if they can't think of lines, if you literally just Google lines and look up images, I am sure that there is a ton. And next I'm gonna add little wings. And these are kind of just like a hump, 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 and in. And if you don't want your wings to look like this and you think that the wings should be done a different way, you know what, go for it. It is your bird and you do it how you want to do it. And last but not least, I'm gonna put some little feetsies on my birds. And again, you can kind of get creative with how you want to do your feet, your little claws. or you can do them just like me. That is a-okay too. Okay, now this step, once we finish our pencil, I'm pretty sure that every single student would probably say the next step is to outline. So I'm gonna be honest, and I literally only have a thin Sharpie. I cannot even find a black crayon in my crayon box or marker or anything. So I am gonna go ahead and use the thin black Sharpie that I have. But if you don't have a black Sharpie, you can use anything that's black if you want, or you know what? If you don't have that, you can just go ahead and skip outlining all together. That is just fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and outline one of my birds just to show you what that looks like. There, so this is just one of my birds, nice and outlined. I would go ahead and do all the rest of them as well if you're outlining. From there, you can go ahead and color, and whatever it is that you have on hand that you want to color with, you go ahead and color with that, because that's what works for you. And if you don't have anything to color with, well, then you can just flip your page and go ahead and draw some more birds or whatever you want that's creative for you. We talk a lot about, in terms of coloring, that when there's a line, that means we switch color. So for instance, I wouldn't take my marker and just color this all the same color. I would color different sections different colors. So I would color in maybe every other stripe. And with the kindergarten kiddos and even some of our first graders, we've talked about our lawnmower coloring. And that's just going around the edges, mowing the lawn, and then going back and forth and kind of filling in those as well to help us stay in the lines. Obviously, for my 5th graders and older kids, these are kind of skills that they've worked on a lot over the past 5 years, and they are pros, so they can just be using all the colors and making it look nice and detailed. So then again, like I said, since it's a different part of the line, we would go ahead and change colors. The more colors I've found that you can use, depending on what you got. All right, so here is my finished bird. Oh my goodness, I missed a little spot right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish that real quick. All right, so here is my finished bird, and I finished only one because that's just what I had time for, and I wanted you guys to go ahead and be able to start creating really quick. But if you finish your birds and they're all colored in, you can go ahead and color in your background as well. You could color it solid. You could create a background, like I said. Maybe your birds are in the trees, maybe it's in the sky, flying with some airplanes. It's totally up to you what you want your bird and backgrounds to look like. I'm gonna try and film at least 2 of these videos a week, kind of talking about what you could do at home. I have some ideas. For instance, I have this project with egg cartons that I feel like are something that a lot of people would probably have at home, and maybe a little glue. So I hope you like hearing from me and watching this video and having some ideas of things to do at home. I miss you all very much and hope to see you soon.